Welcome back to the channel. So, it's been Christmas recently and we've been pumping out tons of Christmas videos. But in this video, we're going to go back to our roots with Minecraft again, but we're going to be making a Christmas themed mod for Minecraft. So what I'm going to be doing in the video is completely starting from scratch and making custom mobs, structures, biomes, and different items and blocks in the game to make a completely Christmas themed mod. But what's more is this isn't going to be an entirely fresh mod. This is actually going to be an update for the mod that I'm working on that I'm going to be releasing soon to you guys on this channel. So I've been working on a mod recently called the Winter Update, which completely overhauls many of the winter and icy frozen biomes in the game to give them a little bit more love and make them more interesting. But this is going to be a Christmas update for that mod, and I'm going to add some new biomes and Christmas themed content into it in time ready for Christmas. Now the goal is to try and release this mod maybe at the end of this month or next month, which will be after Christmas, but I want you guys to see just how we actually make this mod and creating the Christmas update throughout this video. So we're going to be making new mobs, so we're going to have to make new models, textures, blocks and items for all of it, and it should be pretty fun to start from step 0 all the way to the finish. So let's get into the video and let's make this mod. Okay, so we've created Krampus, we've created a nice little new present block, so let's move on to another mob. Now the next one, is it Santa? No, it's still not Santa Claus, which is kind of weird. You'd expect I'd already have created him by now, but I guess my mind was just in a different track at that point. So we're going to actually create the Christmas Elves first. Now, one idea I had was to kind of make a bad version of Santa and also a bad version of the elves. Kind of like naughty elves and then just an evil Santa. So the first one we're going to actually create is just a normal elf with green and red textures, and then later we're going to go in and just recolor it in the mCreator color texture software. Now one thing I usually do is if I'm doing a mob texture, I will always draw it first in Blockbench, because Blockbench has a very simple pixel art editor. You just use simple flat colors, but it's basically all you need, and then later I'll just add more depth to it in the mCreator tools. But I want to actually see what it looks like on the model, because I'm not very good at making textures unless I can actually physically see what they look like. So this just works for me. Maybe you guys will do your mobs or textures in a different way, but this is just the best process which I actually like to use. So I'm going to add a few different colors, add the skin color of the mob's head, and we're going to delete the headwear and change it so that it's actually a hat on the mob instead of just a helmet like it is in normal Minecraft, because we're utilizing the zombie model as the base for this elf so that we can actually draw on him, so it will have the same resolution as a Minecraft zombie texture. So we're going to draw some back areas of the hat onto the head, add a gold little bauble thing which hangs on the back of the hat, and we're going to give the elf some eyes. We're going to give it blue eyes and white eyes, and we're going to give it some brown hair on the back. These colors will all be changed a little bit later when we make the evil elf, but this looks good enough for me, and it kind of blends in with a simple Minecraft style. I don't want to make it too detailed. It's always nice to have a really detailed Minecraft mods and models, but my style of mods, just keep the simplicity. So we're going to save this and export it as the elf model, export the texture, and we're going to jump into mCreator now just to give it some variation and set it up. So we're going to import the elf, and we're going to import the elf model, which we'll use for both the evil elf and the good elf, and then we'll create the living entity elf in the software. So we'll give it the right model, the right texture. We're going to give it a red and green spawn egg, and we're just going to save this and actually test this in game. We're going to give it very low attack strength, by the way, and make it quite slow in movement speed, and we're going to make it a creature because it's just a friendly elf. So we're going to give it the basic passive AI and just save it as a creature, and then we can just test it out later. Now I'm going to copy the texture and make the evil elf texture here, which we're going to have to go through a big process of changing this, because throughout this recording I just wasn't happy with how it kept turning out, and I had to go through like 3 different renditions of colors and color combinations to actually make the evil elf look good, because in game it just looked really bad. So we're going to go through this a few times unfortunately, but we will get there in the end. I do promise that. So we're going to copy the elf mob, make the evil elf, give it the evil elf texture, make it a mob this time and not a creature, and we're going to give it the villager angry particle effects and make it a hostile mob. So in Minecraft, this is the first test for the elf and the evil elf. So let's see what it looks like at this stage in development. So you can see we have our nice little items, but we have two new spawn eggs, the elf and the evil elf spawn egg. So let's first spawn the elf, which looks very nice, but the evil elf just looks weird. It kind of has like a red suit, but then some parts of it is still green, which in my opinion doesn't really look as good as I kind of had it in my head as being. And also the particles in the corner of the screen, you can see there's just way too many over there. You just don't know what's happening because the whole mob is just covered by these angry villager particles. Yeah, they probably need changing a little bit. But overall, I like how the mob looks, and it's a good start. With a little change, you can see there's now less particles and they spawn in a further radius. So now we're going to jump back into Blockbench and we're going to change the texture a little bit because I realized I didn't actually paint all the way around in between the legs and in between the body. So when the mob will actually move, you'll see a few shortcomings of the texture, which I didn't really want you to see. So I'm going to edit that and improve that and fill in the areas of flat green, which I should have colored in different colors, just to make sure the mob actually looks good in game, because you always want your mobs to look good, especially with all this work that we've put into it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to import the new elf texture, which we've just touched up, and copy it again, and we're going to go for take 2 in figuring out how we're going to make the evil elf look. So this is the second rendition of the evil elf, and I kind of stood here just thinking for a while to myself, how am I going to do this? Okay, so we're going to make the full suit red because that makes more sense. Okay, no, we're definitely going to make the eyes red. Yeah, let's make the full suit red. There was so many confusing areas of this. I just decided to get rid of all the green because it just made sense for the evil elf not to be green and kind of have the Santa Claus red and white striped colour scheme going on. And then what I decided to do was kind of save that for now and then jump in and see what it looked like so far in game. Okay, so now you can see what the mob looks like. The back of the hat looks really weird with that red strip, and right now it's just a combination of a red suit, which in my opinion looks pretty good, but also a green hat, which kind of has a bit of red through it, which is just messed up. So still not really up to scratch or at my level of being good, but it's a lot better than before. So let's just change this a little bit and fix this. So jumping back into the texture editor, we filled in the green into red and made it all the same color of red. And this is what it turned out as. Very basic, very simple, but that's all that I really wanted. It's good enough for me as an evil elf. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed me making this Christmas mod, then make sure to subscribe if you're new and like the video, and turn on notifications for more awesome Minecraft videos. I'm actually going to be bringing a video next week, probably, or the week after, where I make your Minecraft mods. So if you want me to make your mod ideas, then drop a comment below in this video and tell me what your ideas are for new mobs and creatures to be added to the game, and maybe I'll feature your idea in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.